Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this pillow box. It was one of the projects that I made last week during my week-long challenge, which was different ways of using the Woodland embossing folder. I'm going to change the colours today. I'm going to use Marina Mist. So the card pieces you're going to need are two pieces that measure 5 7/8 of an inch by 5 inches. Just checking, make sure I've got that right. And also you'll need some Marina Mist and some Whisper White for the gift tag that goes on the box. I'm going to start by using my Big Shot. The pillow box is actually die cut out using our square pillow box Thinlits dies. You get all of these in the set. I'm only going to be using this large one, but these little ones are if you want to create a row of holes in your pillow box so that you could see through. Lovely little snowflake there. A couple of frames which you could make windows. That's Christmas trees, that's pumpkins and their leaves, and that's for the candy cane. Candy cane, is that what they call it? You know, the red and white striped lollipop thing that they do. I think it's candy cane. Well, that's what I'll call it. If I'm wrong, never mind. So I'm going to start with my magnetic platform, one cutting pad, one sheet of cardstock and my die, then my second cutting mat, and then just crank that through. Okay, so that comes out nice and easily, and you will see that there are little score lines on here. That one there, that one the other end, and that one. So you need to cut two pieces of this. So there's my other piece, the other die. Second cutting mat, make sure that's coming onto the platform, otherwise that's not going to be cutting anything. Okay, so that's my second piece. Now I'm going to emboss both pieces. Move that out of the way, and this is the Woodland embossing folder. I thoroughly enjoyed my challenge last week using this. I think it's an absolutely great embossing folder. In fact, I think the embossing folders that Stampin' Up have been coming out with recently have been absolutely great. The impressions they give is absolutely superb. So I have my multi-purpose platform, one cutting mat. Now when you do this, if you have a directional pattern, which I do, because with using this, the branches should be going up slightly. If I did it like that, my trees would look a little bit funny with them going down. So what you need to bear in mind is that with these, you need one piece going up and one piece going down, because that's how they're going to be stuck. That is the way they'll be stuck together. So you need them like that, so that they're both facing the same way. I don't know if that made sense, but I will show you once I've done it. So the back, the bumpy bit is the bottom of it. Sizzix bit goes at the front. So have your right side facing up. Pop that into the embossing folder. Put the fold of the embossing folder in first, second cutting mat on top, make sure they're nice and straight, and just put that through. So that one I had the flap there at the top, so this one I'm going to put my flap at the bottom, and fold through first. Make sure it lines up because it does only just about go through the big shot. Oops, there we go, that's that. So I'm not going to need my big shot anymore, so I'll move it out of the way. That's my second piece. Let's get myself tidied up again. Let's move that one out of the way, and that one. Okay, so what I was trying to say was that's up the right way and that's up the right way, and because these are going to be stuck together like that, they both stay up the right way. Okay, does that make sense now? I hope so. Anyway, fold on that crease line first, and we're going to sponge the trees. Fold your flaps the right way, and get a piece of scrap paper like this, and my dauber. Where's my white dauber? There we go, and my Whisper White craft ink. Now when you do this sponging, just make sure that you don't come on this fold, because you're going to be putting some kind of adhesive on there, and if you've put this on, it's going to be a little bit moist. It will stick, but not quite so well. So all you need to do is just tap this into the ink and very gently go over the trees and the branches. Don't press too hard. You will find that it will go partly onto the base behind the trees, but that's okay. The overall effect of this is really lovely. I like this. Okay, I think that one's just about done. There we go. And then do the other one as well. Again, don't go onto the flap. It looks quite effective just as it is, doesn't it? Okay, so we've got that like that. Now I'm going to use my red sticky strip to put my two pieces together. In fact, have I got my think what we call it, silicone mat. I'll put that underneath so that when I come off the edge it's not going to get stuck to all the paper. Oops. And for a job like this it would be nice if I had some of the wider strip, but I don't, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 layers on here. There we go, and that one. Oh, cut off a bit of my pillow box there. You see the blue there. In fact, I didn't do a very good job on that one at all. Look at that. That's better. Now we do this one. Again, just laying this side by side. The first time I made one of these pillow boxes, I didn't think it was going to fit because this is quite narrow here. I couldn't quite understand how it was going to fit onto something quite as wide as that, but it does. Now just make sure that that's going to come off quite easily. I recommend you run your finger along it, and then with my paper piercer, which is over here, I'm going to take the 2 pieces of red off this one. Oops, there we go. I think that's got, because I got one slightly on top of the other, that happened. There we go. Right. Now this is going to fit onto here. What you have to do is make sure that these end bits meet up these bits here. Okay, so right into that corner there. That one there. And that one there. You see what I mean, how that's got to, it doesn't look as if it's going to go, does it? But it does, just needs you to be careful, that's all. So, very carefully line those up, just like that. There we go, absolutely spot on. Beautiful. So that folds in half nicely. Okay, now this one's not quite so straightforward. But it does work. I don't know if you remember, but Stampin' Up used to have a little, no, not a little, had a big die that did a pillow box. But it was quite a bit smaller than this one. This one's really lovely size. I think it's about 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches finished size. Yes. Now to close this, what I tend to do is try and hold this down so that I can, let me see if I can show you, because you're not seeing very much there, are you? Right, to try and get this bit to come down onto here, and for it all to follow through so that this lines up. I think I'm going to have to put it on the work surface here. If I can try and keep my hands out of the way. If I lift that up, can you see how it's going to go down there? Not sure that you are able to see that. But now that I've got that bit down, I'm holding the rest of it up so that I can now follow through okay. I hope that was okay to see. It was very difficult to do, but now what you need is to very gently fold on the curved creases. Okay, just follow it all the way round, and then on the other side okay, like that, and then that side as well. If you give it a little bit of a pinch by the actual fold, it does go down quite easily. Okay, so that's your pillar box, except you want to do whichever one you've got going down this side, you want that one going down as well, so that you don't have any of the openings there. You get both the openings on the other side, which is why I put ribbon around it. Now on this one, what I did was I've stamped snowflakes on it, which came from the Happy Scenes stamp set. That was the one that I've used on it. And this one, what I did was I just used my two-way glue pen. And what shall I do this time? I think I'll use the glue pen on it. So what you need to do is open that bit up and two-way glue pen, this one. Just make sure it's flowing through nicely. And what I do one side at a time, then I'll turn over and do the other side. But I put my glue pen on all these little lines here, all down the trees. I do them on the branches, and then I just do little spots on the bit in between, as if it is snowing. Okay, you do need to work reasonably quickly, but you don't need to work at a breakneck speed. Okay, so there's that one. I'll do a little bit there on the bit that's going to fold in. And I don't agonise over this. If there's a line, my glue pen goes near it, and that is that. A bit on the branches as well. Branch up there, branch there. Okay, more branch. Now I've done all of that, so I'm just going to do some snow. I mean, you can do it on the trees as well if you like, but I think there's already enough on there. I mean, you would certainly see snow falling in front of trees, but I'm just concentrating on the little bits in between. Now once you've done that, as I say, I'm doing one side at a time, bring my Dazzling diamonds over. And I'm going to hold this over my container and just sprinkle this. Okay, that's all we need to do. You might think that you only want to do one side, seeing as how one side is obviously going to be the back. But I think that, you know, you've gone to all this trouble to make this beautiful box, so you might as well finish up the back bit as well. But like everything in card making, choice is yours. These Dazzling diamonds are definitely the best kind of glitter that I've ever used. I know you expect me to say that because I am Stampin' Up, but I'm sure you'll agree with me if you've tried it. Right, now the falling snow. That was a bit that didn't do, isn't it? No. Okay, so that's going to be fine. So bring this over again. And sprinkle with the Dazzling diamonds. You can tell by the amount I have in my box here that I do use this quite a lot. Okay, lovely. Okay, super. Now what I'm going to do is, oh look, made lots of mess. I'll pop that back in there. Right, now I'm going to do my gift tag, and I'm going to do this one. As you probably know, this is going to be my most used stamp this year. I think this little snowman is really lovely. He's very easy to stamp, he's very easy to colour, and he's very easy to fussy cut as well. And I've certainly done that to quite a few of them now. Now the colours I'm using for my marker pens are, no, not that one. I'm going to have these. Marina Mist, Soft Sky, Pumpkin Pie, which is what I'm using for his nose, and that's it, isn't it? I don't need basic black. I use basic black if I'm fussy cutting. In fact, I'll have to do a video on that to show you how I do mine. I mean, this is so easy to cut out. The only bits that need special attention are his arms, his twigs, and I'd like to show you how I deal with that bit, and also this fringe at the bottom of his scarf. And what I tend to do is once I've done one layer, go over the second layer. It makes it come up that much darker. And then I'm going over the squares in the middle and the stripes on his hat with Soft Sky. There we go. So that's him all painted. I'm going to punch it out using a tag punch, which is this one. Just decide where I want him to go. I want him near the bottom because I'm going to punch some holes at the top for some thread to go through. Oops. So there's that one. I'm also going to put a liner behind it of this Marina Mist. On this one I used the Dazzling Diamond Glimmer paper, but this one I'm going to do the blue, and I'm going to put some Dazzling Diamonds on it. So on this bit I'm going to do the mound of snow that he's standing on. I'm going to do all of that. I'm going to do the bottom cuff around his hat and the bobble, and of course some falling snow. There we go. In fact, I just thought of something. I'm going to do something that I've not done before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue tag, I'm going to colour all over it, not colour it, glue all over. In fact, could do stripes, could do dots, could do all sorts of patterns, and then I'm going to put Dazzling Diamonds on it. Right, let's see what happens to that. Well, there you go. That works, doesn't it? Missed some corners off, but one corner is going to be covered up anyway because I'm going to layer my Father Christmas on top. Hey, what do you think about that? Sorry, she said, running off with it. Beautiful. Oh yes, I like that. Oops, got stuck to my finger now. Right, okay. Now I'm going to take my 1/8 inch hole punch and some glue dots so that I can put this snowman on top of my glue tag there. So I'll have one there, one there. Right, let's just see how this is going to be fitting on here. That's right, put that one there. And I want to put the round bits at the top here together and then show the blue underneath. Let's get rid of this one. Okay, 1/8 handheld punch. Put that into the centre. Let's close this up first. Just imagine that I've put some goodies in there. and my white ribbon. I forgot to measure how much I took last time. Let's see, what have I got here? 16. Oh, there's far too much here. That's 32. Far too much. 38. Right, so what I do when I'm doing my ribbons in a cross like this, so it crosses over at the back, fold it in half, and then the halfway mark goes on the top, over, fold it over on the back, trying to keep this as straight as possible, round. So what did I say? I had about 36. Well, 20 inches would have been absolutely ample. Once I finish the video, I will take this piece off and use a smaller piece and save this for a project when I do need something as large, or use it on 2 or 3 projects. There we go. So just imagine that's all nice and short, okay? And to tie this onto here, I'm going to use some plain white baker's twine. And the easy way of threading this is to fold it in half, use one of these needle threaders, pop that through there, and put the folded part through. There we go, pull that through. Pop that on there, and then tie this through. And there we have it. As I say, just imagine that all these tags and everything are correct. So what do you think about that? Like that? I think that's pretty cool. I'm absolutely thrilled about this bit. Really thrilled. My glue dots haven't stuck very well, have they? Maybe because that's still a bit moist. Never mind. Anyway, many thanks for watching my video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please contact me. As always, I will be happy to help you. If you've enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the button that's on the top right hand side of your screen, or depending on what you are watching this on, it may be below the screen down the bottom there. If you'd like to buy any of the products that I featured here, please click on the 24/7 link that's at the that is on the bottom of my screen. And many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.